How to Develop Laser Focus, Cal Newport. The Scattered Mind. Ethan Cole stared at his laptop screen, dozens of tabs open, dozens of tasks blinking in his project management app. His cafe, cum, lifestyle brand, Grounded, was thriving. Online subscriptions had tripled. His YouTube channel was gaining traction, and investors were circling, and yet Ethan felt more scattered than ever. Every ping from his phone yanked him away from writing his next podcast script. Every new email invitation fractured his attention. He'd wake up determined to plan the day, and by noon, he'd realize he'd accomplished little but responding to other people's agendas. That morning, after a whirlwind 8-hour blur of notifications, Ethan closed his laptop with a sigh. He rubbed his temples and whispered to himself, there must be a better way to work. He wasn't burned out, he was fragmented, and he knew it. Today, he would discover that overcoming fragmentation and mastering what Cal Newport calls deep work would require far more than willpower. It would require a radical redesign of his habits, his environment, and his self-identity. The myth of multitasking. Ethan's day began like most entrepreneurs, a scramble of meetings, messages, and side projects. He prided himself on being a multitasker, and his ability to juggle social media strategy, coffee sourcing, and investor calls all in one afternoon. But pride turned to frustration when he noticed how little progress he made on the tasks that truly mattered: writing blog posts, designing new product offerings, or studying the market for his next expansion. Cal Newport's principle was simple, yet counterintuitive. Multitasking is a myth. The brain cannot truly focus on two cognitively demanding tasks at once. Each switch between tasks incurs a cognitive cost: time lost, reorienting, attention diluted, creativity suppressed. Ethan experimented. He set a timer for 90 minutes of uninterrupted writing. No pings, no emails, no social distractions. He closed his cafe ordering app, silenced his phone, and donned noise-canceling headphones. In the first 30 minutes, he wrestled with urge to check Twitter. In the next 30, he felt a flow beginning. By the end of 90 minutes, he had drafted the outline for his upcoming Brew Bold podcast episode. The results spoke for themselves. Single-tasking yielded more work in less time, with deeper insight and greater satisfaction. The ritual of deep work. Newport teaches that deep work must be treated as a ritual, scheduled, defended, and executed with precise rules. Ethan realized all his greatest breakthroughs happened when he gave himself permission to go deep and then honored that permission without exception. He created his own deep work ritual. Time block. He dedicated to daily blocks: early morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and late afternoon from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. to focus on his highest impact tasks. Environment design. He converted his upstairs loft into a minimalist studio. No phone chargers, no whiteboards crammed with to-dos, no half-read magazines, just a clean desk, a single notebook, his laptop, and a pot of freshly ground coffee. Preparation. Before each block, he spent 5 minutes journaling the day's key goal and 5 minutes of deep breathing to quiet his mind. Rules of engagement. During each session, all notifications were off. He informed his team, no calls or messages between 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. unless it's an emergency code red. Within a week, these sessions produced not only blog articles and strategic plans, but also breakthroughs in product design and marketing. Messaging that he'd never reached amid constant interruptions. Embracing boredom. One of the hardest lessons for Ethan was embracing boredom. Newport argues that constant novelty social media feeds, endless notifications, rewires our brains to crave stimulation. As a result, we lose the ability to concentrate on demanding tasks. Ethan challenged himself: 2 hours a day without any entertainment, no podcasts, no music, no phone. He commuted on foot or bicycle, letting his mind wander without digital crutches. At first, he felt antsy. Thoughts raced. What if I'm missing an email? I need music to get energized. He forced himself to sit with silence. Over days, he noticed something remarkable. His tolerance for focused work increased. He could sit through a 90-minute writing session without checking his phone once. His ideas deepened. Complex problems felt simpler when his mind wasn't crowded with distractions. Ethan would later tell his mastermind group, "Boredom is the gym for your attention. Embrace it, and your focus gains muscles." The power of shutdown ritual. An entrepreneur's mind never stops. but Newport insists on the importance of a shutdown ritual, a definitive end to the workday that signals to your brain, work is over. Without it, mental exhaustion mounts, and the boundary between work and rest collapses. Ethan created his shutdown ritual. Review. Check the task list one last time. Mark completed items. Defer or delegate the rest. Plan. Choose the 3 most important tasks for tomorrow. Log off. Close all work apps. Silence notifications, and physically power down devices. Transition activity. Walk outside. Do 30 minutes of light reading or bodyweight exercises to shift mental gears. Completing this ritual gave Ethan clarity the next morning. No more waking in a panic over half-done projects. His sleep deepened, and his energy soared. Attention as a currency. In the digital age, attention is the new currency. Every platform, every free service, competes for your most valuable asset. Newport emphasizes that preserving your attention is not just a productivity tactic, it's a life strategy. Ethan audited his digital subscriptions and social accounts. He unsubscribed from 5 newsletters that cluttered his inbox. He deleted Instagram from his phone and reserved it for the cafe's tablet in the lobby only, to post product updates, never to scroll. He set website blockers to limit news sites and Twitter during work hours. The result? A calmer mind, deeper creative reserves, and a sense of control over his day. He was no longer a slave to his own attention. The craftsman mindset. Cal Newport contrasts the passion mindset. Follow your passion, and the rest will follow. With the craftsman mindset, focus on developing rare and valuable skills. Ethan had always chased excitement, new products, big launches, headline-grabbing events. But he realized that true fulfillment and career traction come from deliberate mastery. He committed to deliberate practice, weekly skill blocks, 2 hours each week devoted to mastering advanced copywriting techniques. Reading 1 industry-relevant book every month. Marketing psychology, e-commerce, trends, leadership strategies, mentorship. A bi-weekly call with a veteran brand strategist who critiqued Ethan's email campaigns and social content. Over 6 months, his writing became more persuasive, his brand messaging more cohesive, and his growth metrics more sustainable. The 90-day rule. Newport's 90-day rule suggests assessing your commitments quarterly. Any project you haven't made progress on in 90 days should be eliminated. It's a ruthless but necessary pruning process to protect your focus. Ethan reviewed his list. The mobile app idea he'd brainstormed 12 months ago. No code written in 6 months out. A partnership concept with a local brewery. Dead out. The Grounded Academy online course. A live progress each week. Keep. By shedding stale initiatives, he freed mental and physical resources to double down on what truly mattered. Building a keystone habit. Habits shape our identity. Newport teaches that keystone habits, small routines that trigger positive cascades, are transformers. For Ethan, the keystone was his morning journal and planning session. Every day at 6 a.m., he journaled 3 things he was grateful for, listed 1 major metric he wanted to move, wrote down a single imperative action for the day. This 5-minute ritual set the tone. He approached each deep work block with clarity and purpose. His team knew precisely what he prioritized. Progress accelerated, cultivating deep community. Though deep work often implies solitary effort, Newport acknowledges the importance of community. Ethan formed a focus pact with 3 fellow entrepreneurs. Each week, they met online to share goals, report on deep work hours, and celebrate breakthroughs. Public accountability spurred them all to guard their focus fiercely. When Ethan missed a session, he felt the gentle peer pressure enough to nudge him back into his ritual. When he succeeded in writing 10,000 words in a week, they cheered him on, fueling his momentum. The focused leader. Ethan's transformation rippled through his company. He introduced meeting-free days for the entire team. No calls, no check-ins, just head-down work. Productivity surged, creativity thrived, turnover dropped as people felt trusted to manage their attention. He hired a dedicated focus coach to train new hires in deep work principles. Quarterly retreats became silent weekends of strategy and planning, away from screens and disruptions. Ethan had become a focused leader, sculpting a culture that prized depth over distraction, mastering email and communication. One of the hardest frontiers was email. Newport prescribed strict protocols, 2 email checking windows per day, template responses, and a focus on statement emails rather than infinite back and forth. Ethan implemented these rules. Check 1:09 a.m. for urgent items, respond or delegate immediately. Check 2:03 p.m. for follow-ups. Template library. 10 common responses. Thanks. I'll review. Please clarify. Scheduled for tomorrow. The team adapted. Inbox zero became the norm. Hours of reclaimed focus paid dividends in product launches and content creation.